This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
Shannon, can we get some police codes? I think what this podcast is missing is some police codes.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
1056.
Indecent exposure.
No.
What is it?
Suicide.
Mark, have you had any?
Yeah, I investigated a few suicides.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Were they cries for help or they actually did it?
They actually did it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, suicide attempt is a different code. It's
55?
No, it's 1056A.
Oh, okay.
1056A is a suicide.
Suicide attempt.
Is there it's suicide attempt.
Mm-hmm.
A 1056 is an actual suicide?
Yes.
What's the one where you hang yourself when masturbating?
That's the same thing.
I don't see that one.
Well, yeah,
That's a
actually,
1056. That's a 1056. Okay.
it would be a suicide because it's not at the hands of another. A homicide, all that really means is that you didn't kill yourself. Somebody else had something to do with it.
Right.
So whenever they say in the paper, somebody committed a homicide,
Right.
It could be involuntary, an accident, but it's still a homicide.
So homicide could be a murder, could be a manslaughter. Homicide, somebody else is involved.
Dying at the hands of another. That's what homicide means.
It sounds like my set last night. Thank you. Shannon, as somebody else commented about the horns, how they hated the horns. We have two people who hate the horns now. Don't listen! Don't listen to the fucking podcast if you hate the horns. It's part of us, and we will never let it go. The horns are more important than any listener. We will have 0 views and 0 downloads before we give up any fucking horns. I'll be in the studio honking the shit by myself before we let it go.
And that's only 2 of millions of listeners.
Yeah, of millions. Have you ever shot a fan?
No.
Mark?
I never shot
Have you
anybody.
ever opened fire on a fan?
No.
What about tasering an epileptic? That seems like it would feel
The
powerful.
tasers actually came out as I was retiring, which I missed.
Right.
I think that would have been fun.
But I feel like from just a science, somebody has epilepsy and they're doing a seizure, and then you taser them, and it shocks them more. It might shock them into not seizing.
Yeah.
2 negatives equal a positive.
I bet they have done those experiments already.
Probably.
Yeah. Somebody had. Don't you ever feel that way? That if I thought of it, somebody definitely has thought of it? A lot of people have thought of it.
No,
already.
I have too much of I'm a narcissist, so I think that I'm a genius. So I think I'm the only guy who thought about it. Tasering an epileptic gets them
Shocks
out
them
of
into-
epilepsy. Shocks them into normalcy. Reimagining policing.
ReImagining the police.
This is how I reimagine it. When somebody, I get pulled over and I get arrested, I reimagine the cop just letting me go.
You know what I always wonder? He's talking about reimagining. You get a cop goes to pull a car over,
Right.
which basically is a lawful order.
Okay.
Person pulls over, and then they don't follow any other lawful orders after that. And I'm
The
like, so
cop
why
doesn't
did
or
you?
the
No,
cop
the
doesn't?
person.
Okay.
Lights and sirens. Pull over to the right. Person pulls over to the right. Cop comes up to the window. Windows up. Let me see your. No, I'm not showing you nothing. So what did you pull over for? You should have just kept going. Why did
then
you?
it's a high speed.
You at some point you actually had an advantage.
But then
Because
there's
you were in your car. I could have got a flat tire. I could have got lost. I could have quit. Decided I don't want to chase this person after all. You had the advantage, but you pulled over just to argue with me, just to not follow any more orders. I never understood that.
Because they didn't want a high-speed chase.
They want a confrontation. That's
Well, they
what
don't want a high-speed chase. When they do a high-speed chase, then you're going to get
Nobody says
flagged.
that-
You're going to get flagged for evading. What's it called? Fleeing and evading, Shannon? What number is that? Fleeing and evading? Or
Fleeting.
fleeing, and then you're going to have to call backup.
Are you
and then
saying
the
fleeing or fleeting?
Fleeing and running from, I don't know what it's called. Anyway, you're
Ghosting would be a good name.
Ghosting!
They should call
You're
it
ghosting the cops.
Yeah, ghosting the cops.
Yeah, that's what it's called now. Throwing shade.
Yeah.
You threw shade at the cops. No, so you left. You high speed chase. You got to call for backup. Set up roadblocks.
Doesn't have to be a high-speed chase.
And then a chopper.
You could still go your speed, and the cop could still keep following you, telling you to pull over, pull over, pull over, pull over. And so for some reason, the natural impulse is, I'll pull over, but I'm not giving him anything else.
Right. And then what do you do in that situation? You have to pull them out of the car.
Well, that's the situation. Well, I want you to call your supervisor. So let's say the supervisor happens to be handy. He comes around.
Right.
Now there's two of you there.
Yeah.
The supervisor takes over and says, we want to see your license. I don't like you. I don't like your face either. I want to see your supervisor. So now you got to call the captain over. Before you know it, you got the police commissioner there. The mayor's coming. The governor. They got to call the president up. Somebody's going to have to wheel Joe Biden in. He's not going to know what's going on. Just to satisfy this car stop.
And you've had that before where the guy just keeps asking for your
I would just love to just keep bringing supervisors. As many as you want, just bring them. I would just love to see how far this would go. Wait them out. That's the problem. I don't think we wait people out enough.
But it would be great because those people would it would be hard for you to get a hold of your supervisor and then your supervisor, and then the commissioner and all that. But wouldn't it be great if there was just, you had actors on call to come and be those people,
like
pretend to be those people and be like, yes, I'm the supervisor. Yes, I'm his supervisor. And it's like, and you really give the people what they want so they feel.
And you don't even have real badges. It just says supervisor. And then with the arrow says his. The last guy says his supervisor. Her supervisor.
Or the last one says Captain Crunch because they all are fake.